What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the FIFA 17 career mode. This is episode number 48, and today we start season 3 with Middlesbrough on the back of the very disappointing end to season 2, where we were leading in the title race on the final day, but of course we slipped up against Manchester City. I could only manage a point, and of course that meant that Spurs won the title, United finished in second, and we finished in third. So gutted, I threw away the title on the final day, but going into season 3, the motivation is there to go one step further this year and secure our first Premier League title with Middlesbrough. And also as well, guys, as this will be Saturday morning for you, if you can get 1,500 likes on this video, as per usual, I will do a double episode upload day, and you'll see the first game of season 3 in tonight's episode. So there is your challenge, 1,500 likes, and I'll upload the next episode later on tonight. But still, to start season 3, as you can see, a bit of a weird start to the season. As per usual, when you start a new year, you usually get your initial emails with your objectives, overviews and whatnot, and your transfer budget email and stuff, and also the pre-season tournament invite. I didn't get that. I got none of that whatsoever, so I had to get you the transfer budget on its own there, which is £33 million, about the same as last year, I think, actually, and also look at the objectives too. And again, no pre-season tournament invite. And I got to say too, for season 3, if you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen last night as I was playing this game, you would have seen me post a few things. This is a really bizarre episode. It's almost 20 minutes long. It's full of nothing other than transfers, so sit back, enjoy it. It should be a lot of fun. But this is really, really bizarre. Some of the stuff that goes on in this episode, and I think some in the next episode too, this is just weird. Like, really, really weird. But anyway, you can see the objectives overview there. We've got to reach the semi-final of the Champions League. How about that? Also in the league, qualify for the Champions League once again and finish in the top 4, which I think we can do, and also reach the quarterfinals to the FA Cup. So, I mean, some weird aims from the board, let's just say that. Reach the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, but in the Champions League, your first year in the top European competition, you got to reach the semi-final. Good luck, but still. Question for you guys today, start the episode off as well. Just take a look at the squad report, the first one of the new year. What area should we look to strengthen with this Middlesbrough side in the summer transfer window? What should we look to do? What transfer targets do you have for me? Leave them in the comment section down below. Tell me in the comments today, guys, what do you want me to do with this Middlesbrough side over the summer transfer window, and what do you think I should look to do? What areas should I improve? Because this is a pretty decent Middlesbrough side. You can see a squad report right here. We've got about £33 million in our budget, but it could be improved. And again, if we've got to reach the semi-finals of the Champions League, we'll need to bring in at least one or two new players. So what areas should we look to strengthen? Let me know in the comment section down below as you see the first squad report of this season. But talking of bizarre stuff, let's start off straight away with something else here. Daichi Kamada, who you guys may remember, our Japanese playmaker, was loaned out to Wigan last year on a short-term loan deal. For some reason, he never came back to us, stayed in Wigan, which was kind of weird. And I went into my sell players little menu here, and as you can see, I can recall him from his short-term loan for minus £12,000. I think it was minus £12,000. So basically, Wigan, who should have sent Kamada back to us anyway, didn't. Now we've recalled him, and we've got £12,000 for it. And in our financial objectives overview here, you can see we've made 13 grand profit, and the expenses is plus 13 grand for recalling Kamada. So basically, Wigan have given us £13,000 for our player anyway, who should have came back to us a long time ago. So that makes absolutely no sense. I mean, this game is just absolutely ridiculous. So it's just so stupid. But more bizarre stuff to come, including this in our contract section. Diego Menendez, out of contract in the summer. One of the best wonder kids in the game right now in the world, surely. Tearing things up for us on the left flank. Wants a new deal. How much money does a 79 overall right midfield 19-year-old want that's going to tear up the world of light, surely? 550 quid a week. That's what he wants. 550 quid a week. Really? On a 4-year deal? Well, I mean, I'll offer it to him and see what he says, but 550 quid a week for a 79 overall 19-year-old. Victor Fisher is one rating lower, a few years older, but he wants 35 grand a week. So why is Diego satisfied with 550 quid? I think it was. It's just absolutely ridiculous. This game is pathetic, seriously. But anyway, look at our squad lineup then going into the new season 2. You saw the squad report just a moment ago as well. Obviously, a couple of the academy players now in there too, like Tyler Bailey and Cameron Green as well. I said about this, I said, regarding this side, I didn't know what areas I was going to look to strengthen in the new season, but one area I think we could improve on is the defense. Now, last season, of course, we leaked quite a few silly goals. In the first season, we were the best team defensively in the division. Last year, not quite as much. We flipped it. We went from being good defenders to good attackers instead, but bad defenders. And of course, in the first season, we were bad attackers. But this season, I want to improve our defense, and the right back area could be improved on. João Cancelo is the guy I put a bid in for first from Valencia. Put a valuation bid in for the right back, possible replacement for Callum Chambers, and we shall wait and see what the Spanish team say. And also, finally, after a couple of advances here, we did get our pre-season tournament invite. So better late than ever, I suppose. We get ourselves into a pre-season tournament, the European International Cup, as per usual. Just choose to win the most prize money. We got Hertha Berlin, Lyon, and Sporting in our group. Again, I don't know why it took a few more days than usual, but still, it's better late than ever, and we'll take it. But still, following this, as you can see, Diego did accept his contract, which is fantastic. He only asked for 550 quid a week. You may have noticed it. I gave him an extra 5 quid a week. He didn't ask for it, but I just said, Diego, listen, son, you've done a lot for this club already. You've earned that extra £5 a week, son, and when you look at your bank statements month after month, you'll know that extra 20 quid a month, oh, you've earned that, mate. You've earned that. But anyway, following Diego accepting his bizarre contract, we did get a bid for Luciano Vietto. Now, how about this? Bayern came in for our top scorer of last season and put in a bid of £35.5 million for our 24-year-old Argentine striker. I asked for £60 million because, of course, last season, as you guys know, as Fisher declined his contract here, Vietto was fantastic in the first half of the season. He was nailed on to be the top scorer in the division and win the Golden Boot. But in the second half of the season, I have literally no idea what happened. He literally just completely fell off it, and I could not do anything with him. His form had a rapid decline. It was absolutely terrible. He scored, I think, 2 Premier League goals in the second half of the season and 3 in total. The guy just lost it completely, and I don't know what happened, but I just could not score goals with him anymore. So because of that, I did discuss Vietto this season. Would he be staying? Would he be going? Well, Bayern put in a bid. I asked for £60 million. It's a lot, but Bayern have got the money, and I thought to myself, if they come back and say they're not going to match it, we'll probably sell him anyway, or possibly keep him in the side. He could turn out to be okay for us, but if we do keep him, it's a bit of a gamble. But if we sell him as well for only his valuation, we won't have that much money because we didn't get much to start with to buy a better striker in the overall. So we'll just wait and see what Bayern say, as Valencia accepted our bid for Cancelo as well. We offered the Portuguese right back a contract, and we'll wait and see what he says. Also a bid for De Roon as well, our captain. Roma want to take him to Italy, but we said hands off. He is staying here and not going back to the Serie A. So De Roon will stay as our skipper. He's going nowhere. I love the guy, and Gibson dislocated his shoulder in the first preseason game, where of course we did beat Lyon. But Bayern came back to us regarding Luciano Vietto. I asked for £60 million. Oh, we had a bit for Desart first, didn't we? Whoopsie daisy. Better show this first before we go into the Bayern stuff. We had a bit for Desart here from West Ham. £5.5 million. I said to Slaven Bilic, £6 million or nothing. He's out of contract in the summer, but I think we can get his valuation, and we shall wait and see what they say. And also, Bayern came back to us regarding Vietto, and as you could see, they wouldn't give us the full amount, which is £60 million, but they would go as high as £55.5 million. So £4.5 million less than what I asked for. And I said, well, it is £4.5 million less than what I asked for, but let's be honest here, I'm totally happy accepting that deal. I was thinking about it because I was thinking to myself, he did have a really good first half of the season last year. In fact, he was unplayable, if you remember, in the first half of the season. He scored 3 of our 6 goals in the goal of the season compilation uploaded yesterday afternoon. So I was thinking maybe we should keep him and hope he comes good once again, but this time keeps it up all year long, not just in the first 6 months. But then I thought to myself, £55.5 million, he's only 24 and already 84 overall, but we can get someone better in, I'm sure, with that kind of money added to our initial transfer budget as well. So I said to Bayern, he's yours, take him, offer him a contract, see what he says, and it looks like we're going to get £55.5 million for Luciano Vietto, the most amount of money we've raised from one single player getting sold in the series so far. So it looks like Vietto is on his way to Germany, and again, for £55.5 million, it's not the £60 million I wanted, but I would certainly take it. Still, João Cancelo declined his contract, as did Victor Fischer, once again rejecting a contract extension there, as he's not happy with the role we are offering. But Cancelo, we gave him a better deal, 40 grand a week, 5-year deal, crucial first team player stats. He said that he didn't want to leave because he didn't think the move suited him, and I thought, well, money talks, let's see what he says. As I give Victor Fischer yet another contract here, wait and see what he says. But I think Fischer might end up leaving, as he doesn't want to be a squad rotation player. He wants to be in the first team, but right now, of course, he's got very little chance of that happening. But anyway, a couple more bids here, another one for Luciano Vietto, and also one for Paul Georges and Tep as well. Now, of course, if you watched last season, you'll know why this guy guy was on my to sell list for the third season. 83 overall, 25 years old. When he played last year, he was great, but of course he spent more time in the treatment room than on the pitch. He broke his ankle twice in the first season at Middlesbrough. He was out for 6 months with one broken ankle, and then of course towards the end of the season, he sprained his ankle again and was out for 4 weeks. So he missed 7 months of football last season. He only played 20 games, and most of those were coming off the bench, as we asked Manchester United for £60 million for Luciano Vietto, but it looks like Vietto is on its way to Bayern anyway. But again, absolutely ridiculous. You know, so many games Ntep missed last season due to injury. He's got a glass ankle, and I think we're going to let him go to Chelsea, as Fisher turns down his contract as well and says he's going to move on at the end of his contract, but could still get sold in the summer transfer window. So yeah, Ntep looks like he's going to leave. The Sart's going to go to West Ham for £6 million, and also it's over. Luciano Vietto, the saga ends here. He joins Bayern Munich for £55.5 million. We'll see £48.5 million of that, and again, I think that's a good sale right there. We signed him for £19.5 million at the start of last season. He was our top scorer last year, I take the point, but he went into a complete free fall in terms of his form and goals being scored in the second half of the season. Only scored a couple. Quite frankly, he just wasn't good enough in the second half of the season. I kept on playing, I kept on thinking he'd come good at some point, but he never did. So he's gone, Vietto's gone, and again, with the money we raised for him, I'm confident we'll pick up a better striker, or at least someone of similar ability that could do a better job and be more consistent, particularly all year long. But Chelsea came back to us regarding Paul George's Ntep, as João Cancelo accepted his contract here, which was fantastic. Chelsea came back to us regarding Ntep and said they would give us 20... Oh, for God's sake, got to the wrong one first. João Cancelo comes in first there for £22 million. So João Cancelo signs the right back, 83 overall, 24 years old, and again for valuation £22 million. I say it all the time, guys, and I know you guys must get sick of me saying it like a broken record, but you've got to put in valuation bids. I know it's cheapskate docs back at it again, but trust me, it works sometimes, and you'll be surprised. That's what happens there. We signed Cancelo for valuation of £23 million. What a steal that is. But anyway, Chelsea are going to take Ntep for £25.5 million. I was contemplating putting in another counter offer and waiting to see what Conte would say, but then I thought, you know what, forget it. The guy's got a glass ankle. It's a ticking time bomb. You know, eventually that ankle's going to explode and he's going to be no good to anyone. So I'm going to sell him whilst I can, get the cash in, and Ntep is going to go to Stamford Bridge. As you can see, Cancelo signs here for £23 million, I think it was. His value did actually drop £1 million, which was a bit of a shame, but 83 overall. He's a step up from Callum Chambers, 24 years old. I think he'll be a really solid right back for us. And again, for £23 million, I'll take that every single day of the week. And again, cheapskate docs back at it again. You got to put those valuation bids in, guys. Seriously, they don't always work. Oftentimes they won't, but every now and then you might be surprised a club says yes, take him for his valuation. But anyway, to look for a new striker, then obviously after the sale of Luciano Vietto, we're going to need someone else to play up top alongside Saido Berahino, because I like Wilson coming off the bench. So I put in some bids here for some players who you may be familiar with as we looked at some of these guys last year. Milik of Napoli, Borja Baston of Swansea, who's fired the Welsh side back into the Premier League for season 3. Antonio Sanabria of Real Betis, who I've heard a lot about. Divock Origi, now at Spurs from Liverpool, and also Gabriel Barbosa as well, the Brazilian striker currently playing for Inter right now. I put in valuation bids for all of these players. I thought I'd wait and see what these clubs say to these deals, and hopefully, Batshuayi was another player I put in a bid for too, just because Chelsea now got Lukaku and Costa, and this guy usually starts on the bench for Chelsea. So I put in bids for all 6 of these strikers, valuation bids, and hope that one of these clubs would accept it, like Valencia did with João Cancelo, that valuation bid. We shall wait and see what they say, and I wouldn't mind any of those guys coming in replacement for Luciano Vietto. But Berahino thinks he'd make a great replacement for Vietto's vacant position himself. I hope you'll give me a chance. And I was like, Saido, seriously, you started up top with him last year. Have you got short-term memory loss or something? You started up top with him last year. You were a strike duo. What do you mean give me a chance? I gave you the chance last year and you're still in the first team. This game is ridiculous. Player intelligence, honestly. But anyway, Arsenal came in for Berahino. We rejected it. And also Hoffenheim put a bid for Callum Wilson as well. Mr. Clutch stays here. Obviously, he's going nowhere. And also the site did get sold here to West Ham for £6 million. Totally fine with me, as he was out of contract in the summer. So yeah, that Berahino player conversation. I mean, seriously, give me a chance. I gave you the chance. You started up top all last year and you're staying in the first team. Now Vietto's gone. What are you talking about? Anyway, but still, following that, as you can see, we had our semi-final of the preseason tournament 2 against Schalke. We won the game, and Paul George and Ntep started that game in the simulated game and scored a hat-trick as well. So how about that for a farewell? Scores a hat-trick, says this is what you're going to miss when I'm gone, and goes to Chelsea with £25.5 million. So Ntep is off to Stamford Bridge, and again, I don't mind that one bit because he's a good player, but he spends more time getting worked over by the physio than on the pitch. So he's gone, and that's totally fine with me. A bit more cash to our budget, and I'll take that. And also as well, how about this too? I tried to sign this guy who was on the free agents list, Abubakar Traore, and I think you probably know whose region he is from. Ivorian central midfielder, looks very, very good indeed. 73 overall, 19 years old, not at a club right now. We offered a guy a contract. Yaya Toure region? Yaya Toure 2.0? I definitely think so. I think he'd be an absolutely awesome signing. Physically, absolutely monstrous, and at 19 years old, technically quite good as well, particularly in the passing stats. Very good for a central midfielder, obviously. He'd be a great signing on a free transfer. But anyway, all the clubs came back to us regarding the strikers. All 6 clubs came back and said the valuation bids were unacceptable, which is a bit of a shame because, again, you know, sometimes those valuation bids do work, sometimes they don't. I wasn't, you know, 100% hopeful that, you know, all of them would come off. Obviously, I knew that was going to happen, but I thought maybe 1 or 2 might work for us, but unfortunately not, which is a shame. But again, one of those things, but I still encourage it anyway. You saw the Valencia bid earlier. Sometimes it does work, not all the time, and more often not it won't, but sometimes it does. But we put in improved deals for all these players: Borja Baston, Divock Origi, Milik, Antonio Sanabria as well, and also 2 other strikers, Gabriel Barbosa and Batshuayi too. So we put in new bids here, second bids. We shall wait and see what the clubs say after we offer more than valuation bids for them. Although I don't think I actually put in a bid for Divock Origi again, did I? I didn't think I was too convinced by the Belgian. But anyway, these 5 strikers anyway, we put in new bids for. We shall wait and see what they say. Honestly, I wouldn't mind any of these guys coming in. I think they'd all be really smart signings for us. But to me, it's like I'm sitting there thinking, what's the type of player I want? Because in the first season, we had Negredo leading the line. He wasn't very good as a physical, stocky, strong striker. I feel like we need someone that's got more pace, like Vieto had last year, to play alongside Saido. I'm not entirely sure, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. We put in the bids, and we shall wait and see what those clubs say there. But also another scouting report here from Victor Golovin, out currently scouting England right now. We picked up this guy to our academy, by the way, Sean Baker. Keep your eye on him. He looks very, very good indeed, and also kept on scouting these guys as well. And also a transfer came in here for Victor Fischer as well, and our Danish winger looks set to leave us too and go to join Victor Valdes at St Mary's for £9.5 million, as we asked for that from Southampton, a counter offer. That is his valuation, and we shall wait and see what the Saints say. But following that, as you can see, Traore did accept his contract, so another new signing. We just signed Cancelo. Now we're going to make our second signing of the episode, Abubakar Traore on a free agent, £3.9 million valuation, 15 grand a week on a 5-year deal, 19 years old, 73 overall, and again, Ivorian, looks like the regen of Yaya Toure. He's got the exciting prospect tag as well, which is really, really handy, so keep your eye on him throughout the seasons with Borough. And how about this as well? Speaking of Victor Valdes, now at the ripe age of 2019, according to that news article. It's his final year in football, apparently. I mean, at 2019, he must be getting on a little bit, but still. I mean, this game is just ridiculous, isn't it? But anyway, Traore comes in, and as you can see his stats here, looks very, very good. Physically, absolutely fantastic for a 19-year-old. Medium-high work rate. He's also got 4-star skills as well. Can play CM, CDM, and CAM as well. And again, Yaya Toure region, I'm almost certain that's who he's modelled on. He looks really, really good, and I can't wait to use him in the games this season. After selling to Sart as well, what a replacement. A few ratings lower, yes, but a few years younger, and also surely with more potential. But anyway, following losing the preseason tournament final, we did see Swansea came back to us, as did Real Betis, regarding Sanabria and Borja Baston. Real Betis rejected our bid for Sanabria, but Swansea did accept our offer for Borja Baston, who again fired the Swans back to the Premier League for this season after they were relegated in Season 1. They bounced back for Season 3, but are okay parting with their Spanish striker for £34 million. We offer him a contract, 90 grand a week, and we shall wait and see what the 25-year-old says to that deal, as we put in yet another offer for Sanabria. I've heard a lot about this guy, I've never had him before though, and we shall wait and see what Betis say to £36 million. He'd be a great signing, I think, 83 overall, and still quite young in his career as well. But anyway, still following that, as you can see, I put in a bid for Bongonda here too. Obviously, with Fischer's departure now imminent, and of course, Ntepa's now gone as well. I feel like we'll need a new winger. Theo Bongonda, 4-star skills, can play on the left side and the right side too. 80 overall, 22 years old. His contract is up come the end of the year, so I decided to put in a less than valuation bid for him. He's valued at £17 million. I put in a £13 million bid, and we shall wait and see what Celta Vigo say, because again, with Fischer surely going to lead the club now to Southampton, also Ntep just getting sold to Chelsea as well. We will need another winger. We've got Menendez, we've got Adama, Kamada can play on the right side as well. Sorry, Onuma can play on the right side as well. I'm sure Kamada could do the job out wide too, but I'd like a new winger in anyway. And again, Corona is another player we looked at too, and also Gelson Martins to go alongside Theo Bongonda. I think we'll possibly sign one of these 3 players with the money left over. We've got £90 million now after the sales of Vieto and Ntep, and hopefully one of these 3 guys will get signed before the season opener in the next episode. But that will end this episode of of career mode, guys, so a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the first episode of Season 3, then please do leave a like. Likes, of course, much appreciated, and they really help the channel grow as well. Don't forget 1,500 likes, and I'll upload another episode later on tonight. So there is your challenge, 1,500 likes for another episode of career mode later on tonight, featuring the first game of Season 3, and hopefully I'll see you for that one later on tonight.